Welcome to the Student Discovery Program finale here at Kimball High School, class of 2022. Those of you sophomores who participated in this program this entire year, we're so proud that you've made it to this point. I know the school year did not go exactly as you planned, but such is life sometimes. But we're coming to you via virtual means to close out this program for this year, and I have a number of your speakers here with me to be able to give their final presentations to you as well. We're going to do this short and concise and as entertaining as we can via these means to you today. So just real quickly, let's review again the Student Discovery Program and what it's for. The background of the program is leadership is the crucial human interaction among groups of individuals working to achieve great things. Leadership doesn't exist in a vacuum. It requires human interaction, and our nation needs leaders desperately today. To help close that leadership void, the Student Discovery Program was created to bring life lessons and concepts for freshmen through seniors in the high schools in the Tracy Unified School District. The sophomore is to focus on mentorship. So we talked to you about mentorship and the importance of that during your first class lesson. It was all about you and helping to build you up and what mentorship brings to even the mentor. It's a two-way relationship. The mentorship program for the high school sophomores was created specifically to provide additional resources to support career identification, goal setting and planning, to develop leaders for tomorrow today. The Student Discovery Program is to help mentor you to discover and choose the potential career that best matches your interests. Mentoring is important because mentors help mold you into the person that you were born to be. You were born for a purpose. Mentors give guidance to assist your development in various areas of your life. The objective over the next 8 months, as we promised, is as follows. At the end of this time, you will be more aware of your own personalities, aptitudes, interests, and career goals. Have identified at least one career path and begin research and goal setting for your path into making that dream or that goal a reality. Have examined how peer pressure can help or hurt those goals, and see how domestic violence can interrupt your plans if no action is taken. We did not get to do that particular segment, but we will have that presentation for you today. The outline for the class for the year was our very first session was on mentorship. Then our second session was on personalities. Our third session was on aptitudes. Our fourth was on career planning. Our fifth was on goal setting. Our sixth was on peer pressure. And our last one was on domestic violence. And let me just go over the speakers that we had for you this year. And some of them, as I said, will be coming a little later to you with their own presentation. We had Mr. Alex Niku, Mr. Alani Alexander, Mr. Benjamin Young, Mr. Gary Cooper, Mrs. Gwen White, Mr. James Young, Mrs. Jenny Hariyama, Ms. Joni Townsend, Mr. Michael Young, Ms. Nancy Young, Mrs. Olinga Yarber Alexander, and Mrs. Regina Okiki. So at this time, let's go ahead and start with our first session on personalities. To bring you that today, we have Ms. Jenny Hariyama.
Hi, I'm Jenny Hariyama. I'm the city manager for the city of Tracy, and I am on clearly the set of The Incredibles, and that is exactly how my experience was in Mr. Donovan's class. And of course, it's the 10:30 class. That is incredible as a part of the Student Discovery Program. And one of my favorite sessions hanging out with you guys was to see you kind of discover who you are and what your personalities were and how unique you all were. And I wanted to remind you, some of you were analytical, and that's where you strove for perfection. Others were drivers, where you wanted to be in charge. Some of you were amiable, and peace was really important to you. and while others were very expressive and fun, was kind of the top of your game. And so I wanted to leave you with that. Do you remember who you were, what your personality style was? And do you remember that I left you with a really important quote, and that is to kind of find out who you are and to be that person. That's who you were put on this earth to be. Find that truth and live that truth, and everything else will come. And I really want you to embrace that. I hope you had a good sophomore year. I'm sorry that you guys had to end up sheltering in place for the last part of it. Looking forward to junior year, and hope that you guys start to becoming all of the unique people that I know you are, and find your voice, embrace that, and don't ever apologize for who you are. Take care. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your lives. Bye.
Our second presenter for personalities is Mrs. Regina Okiki.
Hello everyone, my name is Regina. I'm a registered nurse and also a business owner. My business, I teach CPR to healthcare professionals and to anyone that wants to learn the skill of CPR. Um, Today I'm going to talk about personality types. So first of all, what is personality? And I'm going to define personality according to Allport 1961. He says that personality is the dynamic organization within the individual of those psychophysical systems that determine his or her characteristic behavior and thoughts. So it is the characteristics or blend of character that makes each individual unique. It goes to say that no two individuals are alike, and our uniqueness is not a weakness but a strength, source of strength. We are all different in the way we think, the way we reason, our understanding, the way we feel, the way we express ourselves. The four basic types of personality are analytical, amiable, driver, and expressive. So analyticals, if you're analytical, you are a fact finder, good problem solver. You are less assertive, less responsive, very factual, organized, systematic, logical, and reserved, very patient for details, and independent workers. So analyticals, they don't make fast decisions because they want to get all the information they need before they make decisions, which sometimes could be good, sometimes could be bad. Drivers are more assertive, less responsive, drives the project. Like if they are given project to do, uh, the the driver in that project motivates the other people to join the project and to work in achieving the goal of the project. So they are high achievers, very decisive, independent, efficient. They make quick decisions. So when quick decisions are needed, drivers are there and they can give you what you need to work with. But sometimes it could also be problematic in the sense that when you make quick decisions before you get all the facts ready, you could make mistakes as well. So another group is amiable, peace lovers. They are less assertive, more responsive, they value harmony, they are in touch with feelings, they are very cooperative, friendly, supportive, they are good listeners, and they are good team players. So for expressives are more responsive, they motivate excitement in others, they thrive so much on drama, they act They are lively in nature, they are very outgoing, they are suited for public presentation, and they are good at building alliances and accomplishing goals. So if you are an expressive, it's like you want to be seen, you want to be noticed, that you are the life of the party, you know. So all these are the four types of personality, and none is better than the other. And there's no individual that is 100% analytical or 100% amiable or 100% driver. There are different combinations of traits that make each individual special and unique. So use what you have for the benefit of others.
For aptitudes, we have two presentations for you today. The first one is from Mr. Gary Cooper. Let's see that now.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Gary Cooper, and I had the pleasure of being able to participate in the Student Discovery Program this year over at Kimball High. I had the extreme pleasure of being a part of Mr. Anderson's class each month, and I truly miss you all. But right now, we're all doing the right thing by social distancing and staying home whenever we can. So I want to talk a little bit about aptitude. Aptitude is yours. It is what you have in your DNA. It isn't anything that you have to go to school for. It isn't anything you have to train hard for. It's yours. Some of you are just excellent at singing. Some of you are very, very good at excelling at sports. Some of you are just the best at serving others. And some of you are just designers, engineers, you name it, by your own right. The only thing I would ask that you can do is build upon what you have already. Build upon your aptitude. Don't let anyone discourage you. It's yours. And you can do great things at what you're best at doing. If being a mathematician isn't your thing, maybe you might be an architect. And if you aren't very good at architecture, maybe you're good at writing music or writing plays or maybe even writing a movie. There's nothing I would enjoy more knowing than there's someone that I cross paths with at Kimball High, followed their dreams, and allowed their aptitude to take them to the next level. I want to encourage you. I know that one day we'll be able to go back out into the community and connect with one another once again. I'm looking forward to it, and I truly, truly enjoyed meeting a bunch of folks over at Kimball High. I'm still carrying the binder. So sometimes I go through it to reflect back on what we talked about, and it brings back fresh memories of all the faces that I saw and all the folks that I met. So use that aptitude. Let it take you to the next level. I'm encouraged, and I'm looking to see some great things by all the wonderful people that I met. You all take care now.
For aptitudes, our second presentation today is from Mrs. Gwen White.
Hello, my name is Gwen White. I'm a registered nurse in the operating room. I'm explaining Aptitude Exploration.
Express yourself. Express yourself. You don't never need help from nobody else. All you got to do now, express yourself. Whatever you do, do it good. Whatever you do, Lord, Lord. Do it good. Alright. It's not what you look like when you're doing what you're doing. It's what you're doing when you're doing what you look like you're doing. Express yourself. Express yourself.
career planning, we have two presentations today. One is from Mr. Amini Alexander.
Hello, Youth Discovery class. My name is Dr. Amani Alexander. I'm a member of the Tracy School Board. I'm here to talk to you about career development and assessment. First of all, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to come into your class each month to talk about life experiences. It meant so much to me. Now, I'd like to talk to you about career development and career assessment. Have you ever thought about what you would like to become? When you were younger, did you have dreams about becoming a pilot, an astronaut, a famous actress? Someone that people would just glamorize? Do you still have those same thoughts, those same feelings now that you're older? If so, have you thought about what would it take to achieve those goals? What would it take to really become someone really famous, successful, rich? Well, it starts now. Part of the path to achieving your goal or your career is to get all the information possible about the type of field that you choose to go into. It's not too early. Within the next 5 years, you will probably be in the job market. So start now. Do your research. Find out all the criteria behind the type of field that you would like to go into. Find out the pros and the cons. Talk to your counselors. Talk to your teachers and to friends. But most of all, if you can, try to find people who are in the field and talk to them. Say, for example, if you want to become a doctor, find out what it requires to become a doctor. You want to become an astronaut, what it would take to go into the Air Force to become selected into the astronautical program. If you want to achieve, find out all the information that you can about the field that you want to go into. Most of the time, there are certain requirements that you have to go into. So do the research and talk to people who are in the field. They can give you a hands-up approach that you might not have thought about before. The other thing is that do not listen to people who say you can't do something. If you really believe in yourself and you believe that this is the field for you and you have the skill set and the mindset to achieve it, do not listen to naysayers say that you're not qualified or that you cannot achieve it. Success depends on continuously trying until you win or until you get there. A loser quits and gives up and listens to people who say they can't achieve it. I've talked to many people who have become successful in their life. And a lot of times they had hurdles that they had to overcome. Many hurdles that people have said to them they can't do this, you're not qualified to do it, but they did it anyway. I've experienced that on many occasions myself. So I'd like to say to you, you can do anything that you really put your mind to it. Each of you have the talents and the abilities to succeed and to achieve your dreams. A career is something that you will be doing for a long time. So make sure that the career path that you take provides you with good job security and stability for the long term. Any field that you go into must provide you with good health care and good job benefits, as well as a good income for you and your family. Think about all these things when you go into a career. It may not seem that important at this juncture, but it will be within the next 5 or 6 years. So I urge you, do your research. If you are interested in becoming a police officer, talk to the police chief, talk to people in human resources, call them and tell them I'm interested in a certain field, and ask them, can you help me? Tell me what classes I need to take. Just talk to the people in the industry and ask them to give you some head-up information about it. Most of the people, I believe, will be happy to talk to you and tell you what you need to take, what exams you need to prepare for. So, and we'd be happy to give you the information. So don't let failure, if you don't succeed the first time, bring you to a standstill. Have a second and even a third plan. We all have hurdles that we have to overcome. That doesn't mean it should stop you. Your career is something that you may have dreamed of for your entire life. Do not let others tell you that you can't do it. You have a long and a short-term goal. The short-term goal at this moment is to finish school. Get your diploma. The long-term goal is to graduate from college and enter into the field that you choose to enter into. Once again, I thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to come into your class this semester and talk to you about life experiences. I wish each of you much success in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Our second presentation today for career planning is from Mrs. Olinga Yarber Alexander.
My name is Olinga Yarber Alexander, and I'm your speaker for the Youth Discovery Program. I'm also Education Chair for Tracy African American Association. I want to talk to you about career planning. Do you feel you have a social responsibility when choosing your career? Who influences you? Your parent, your grandparent, teacher, your pastor, family friend? In order to provide a roadmap for your career, you got to stay on track. For instance, make a plan. Graduate from high school. Decide on what you want to do. Go talk to the profession or the person that you want to be. For instance, an engineer, a lawyer, doctor. Talk to those people and find out everything that you need to know in order to get to the goal that you want to go to. Okay, your timeline. Think about the timeline as to how far and when you want to get to your goal. But you got to stay on track. First of all, assess what you might want to do. You need to go to college. Okay, develop a budget so that you'll know how much it's going to take for you to get to where you want to go. The next thing you need to do is do some research. Talk to somebody. If you want to be a doctor, go visit a doctor and ask him what he had to do in order to get to where he was going. The next thing you need to do is document your plan so that you'll stay on track, because that's the only thing that you will be accountable for in your plan to reach your goal. So keep your eyes on the prize, because you're not going to fail. If you fall down, get back up, because just keep on trying. So I thank you.
Our goal setting presentation today is from Mr. Benjamin Young.
Hello class, this is Benjamin Young, also known as Mr. Young. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer and that you guys are staying safe in this quarantine. So we're gonna recap goal setting today. Goals are extremely important because it helps you push through adversities in your life to achieve your dreams and accomplish things that you really want to get done in life, right? But one of the biggest hindrances is to why people don't achieve their goals is because many times they don't have the right goals. Let's put it that way. They don't have the right goals. They don't write out their goals properly. Some don't write them out at all. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna help you go over those goals. So we talked about SMART goals, right? But I'm gonna talk to you today about the next level to that, SMARTer goals. Okay, so the first goal that we're gonna go over, or the first part of it, is gonna be specific, right? So when you create your goal, you wanna be specific on what it is. You kinda wanna make it quantitative. So let's say I am trying to gain weight. I'm 160, I wanna be 180. So I will write as my first part of the goal is I will weigh 180 pounds. Right? You also want that to be measurable. That's something that you can kind of see where you're at along the path. Like I'm 170, I'm 175 right now, I got 5 more pounds to go, yada, yada, yada. You want it to be actionable. So when you write it out, it's something that is in action, something that you can see. And when you say it out loud, you're telling yourself, I'm going to do this. And R for relatable, you want to make sure that you kind of know where you're at now and where you're going to be. So you would kind of write that like this. I will weigh 180 pounds. Currently, I weigh 160 pounds. And after that, you kind of want to have it to be time bound for your full SMART goals. And this is one of the most important parts, because a lot of people, they have great goals, but they don't have the time in which they're going to get it done. So that kind of helps you stay focused. So you would write that out as like, I will weigh 180 pounds by September 1st, by the end of the summer. And currently I weigh 160 pounds. Now the smarter goals is where you kind of come back and reevaluate that. So E is for evaluate. And this is where a lot of people kind of go wrong. Like, they create perfect goals, but they don't come back and look back through their goals. So the way you can evaluate your goals is every single week, go back, read through your goals, right? Have them where you can read it every single week. And every single month, at least once a month, evaluate where you're at on that goal. Like, currently I weigh this much, I want to weigh this much now, right? And then R is really important, and that's just reward. So a lot of people, they get their goals done. When they complete it, they're just on to the next thing. But you have to stop and celebrate your victories, celebrate that milestone. So you can write it down like this to give you kind of inspiration when you're going. You can say, I will weigh 180 pounds by September 1st. Currently, I weigh 160 pounds. And to celebrate achieving my weight goals, I'm gonna go out with friends, take a weekend, and probably go snowboarding or go dirt bike riding. Whatever is fun and inspiring for you. If you're trying to get rid of debt, say, I will get rid of this much debt by this much time. Currently, I have this much debt. And to celebrate, I'm gonna go buy myself a $100 gift or something that I would normally never spend on myself, right? So those are smarter goals. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and make the most of your summer. Be blessed.
Our next presentation on peer pressure is from Mr. James Young.
My name is Pastor James Young, and I pastor here in Tracy at His Image Church Ministries. I'm also a graphic artist, a designer. I'm a musician. I play trumpet, my main instrument. I majored in music and orchestration and arrangement, music composition. I also play keyboard. I have written a number of songs. I'm also an author of several books. I'm excited about working with the students at Kimball High School in our student discovery program. I've been doing this for a number of years, at least 6 or 7 years. And my task here today is to talk about peer pressure. And I think peer pressure is a very, very important subject. Peer pressure, has to do with our success, our inability to succeed. And it basically deals with the type of people that we hang around with. So it's very important who you keep company with. Association brings about assimilation, I've always been told. And I just want to say from the get-go, no one can be you. And most of the time we look up to others and we want to be like others. And it's okay to have positive influences in our lives, a role model. But it's not good to have negative influences in our lives, a negative a role model of peer pressure. No one is immune to peer pressure. There's a difference between negative and positive peer pressure. Negative peer pressure and positive peer pressure, we need to have a pretty much a good understanding about that. Peer pressure is when you are influenced from members of your peer groups, the people that you hang around with, your friends, the people that you associate with. And they can either have a positive influence on you or a negative influence. Number one, negative peer pressure is when you are pushed or forced into doing something that's not good, that's not right. Say, for instance, stealing, bullying, or even lying. And even worse, I remember having a friend. I remember hanging out with a group of guys on a Saturday and after school, and we went into the Ben Franklin 5 and 10 store, and I had money, and I think they had money too. So I thought we were going in there to buy something, unbeknown to me that they had planned on going in there to steal. And stealing little water guns, and they all got theirs and said I have my water gun. And they said, James, did you get yours? I said, no. I said, I can buy one. They said, no. They took the gun and put it in my pocket and said, come on, let's go. Man, and you can imagine how I felt, because my mom taught me better than that, brought me up differently, that told me not to hang out with these type kids. But, you want to hang out with the guys who are popular, who are fun to hang out with. And so one of the other guys went to the counter and did buy something with paying for it in a way to distract while the rest of us walk out. And here I am walking with guilt written all over my face, man. They had looked at me. I mean, I was, and so I said, these guys, I said, I can't hang out with these guys any longer anymore. So that's a negative type of peer pressure. I was pushed into stealing. They actually took the water gun and put it in my pocket and said, come on, let's go. And where I could have paid for it, but I didn't, but I was pressured not to, I was pressured to steal. That's definitely a negative peer pressure. You have to identify those that are negative in your life and stay away from them. Identify the positive people in your life. Positive peer pressure is when you are pushed to excel, probably in academics, and sometimes you can get with a study group that's positive. It's not hard to find the guys that's not, hanging out, smoking, drinking, chasing, and all of that stuff. But you have to have some integrity to push toward the positive. And so with your positive friends around you, you're pushed to excel in academics. Even in sports, is a good form of peer pressure when you're pushed to do your best. And you need to identify your positive reinforcements and key values and integrity. This is what positive peer pressure does. It teaches you how to do the good things, how to do right. Integrity, as we say, is doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And if you don't know the right thing, having integrity will cause you to seek out, to find out what is the right thing to do. And when you find out what's the best way, the right thing to do, then you do it. And you hope that your action would influence others in a positive way. Negative is just going to come. It doesn't take a lot to be negative. It doesn't take a lot to complain and mumber and to point out the ugliness of other people and even be ugly yourself. But it takes a concerted effort to do the best that you can do and to strive lawfully and strive for the positive goals in your life. You need to identify safe and appropriate response to peer pressure, whether positive or negative. You need to understand there's something that we call RIBS in student discovery, and it's the foundation of self-awareness. And RIBS, R-I-B-S, stands for to retain, identify, build, and self. So the R is an acronym for to retain my individuality. This is what you are to do. You need to know who you are, and know that you're an individual and that you are one of a kind. There's no one else like you. Can't nobody else be you but you. Can't nobody else beat you being you but you. And I'm a firm believer that everyone has a gift. Everyone has the talent. And you need to find out what that gift is in your life, what that talent is in your life. You might even be an inventor. You could be someone great, an astronaut, be a movie star, be a talented musician. It depends on you, how you're going to excel. And most importantly, you do it lawfully. You do it the right way, because a lot of people climb the ladder and they climb the ladder negatively, and many of them have a great fall. And the fall is really not good. So you need to learn how to identify and have support groups. Then you need to identify your strength, as I said, and strengthen yourself in those areas. Identify your weaknesses and overcome your weaknesses and strengthen yourself in those areas. If there's something negative that you need to get rid of, you need to get rid of those and focus on the positive. And the acronym for B is to build. You need to build your strengths. As I kind of alluded to, you need to build on your strength and grow overcome and keep building and keep reaching. And S is to have self-determination. There's something that I call the 4Ds, the 4 degrees of destiny. And that is something that you're trying to do and trying to accomplish. You need to first have a desire to do it. When you have the desire, you need to make a decision that you're going to do it. And when you make that decision, you need to be determined to accomplish what you have made a decision to do, because there are going to be some things that cross your path, some negative, there's going to be friction, there's going to be things to try to hold you down. So you need to be determined. You got to have that determination. And once you accomplish and reach that goal, the 4th D is discipline. You have to discipline yourself in order to stay there, and discipline yourself in order to keep going higher, keep excelling. That takes real discipline. So that's desire, decision, determination, and discipline. Remember those. Lastly but not least, identify your support groups in whatever you're doing. You have people that love you. It should be family and friends. They should be your greatest support group. But then sometime if it's not, then look for teachers and look for counselors. You need to have counselors, good counselors in your life, and a good support group. I tell you, you need to seek out, before you do anything great or monumental, you need to get counseling. There's safety in the midst of counsel that helps. Some things that you can't see, other people can see and they can identify. So you need to talk to people and ask people about yourself, or what do they feel your talent is, what do they think that you are doing wrong. Or usually coaches and mentors, they're able to identify that with you and see it. And you need to build these support groups, family, teachers, counselors, and be around positive friends. It's not hard to find negative friends, but to find positive friends, they are few and in between. If you have a whole lot of friends, it's something might be a little fishy there. Everybody is not a good friend. With all my student discovery classes, I tell them every year to use this acronym, to use this confession. It's an affirmation that you give yourself, and you can look in the mirror and say, yesterday I was good. Today I'm better. Tomorrow I will be my best. And if you start putting it into practice, something begin to click and something begin to happen with you, and you will continue to grow and continue to increase. And so thank you for viewing this and hearing some of the things that I have to say. And just remember, you can always be better, but you need to strive to be your best. Thank you, Student Discovery class, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.
Our last presentation today on domestic violence and teen dating violence is from Dr. Clara Stiles. This is an important presentation for you to listen to. Of course, you did not get to hear this in person, but this, I hope, will help bring home the picture for you to understand the importance of this topic.
I got a rose today. I got a rose today. It wasn't my birthday or any other special day, but we had our first argument last night. He said a lot of cruel things that really hurt me. But I know he must be sorry, and he didn't mean the things he said, because he put a rose on my desk today. I got a rose today. It wasn't homecoming or any other special day. Yesterday, though, he pushed me into my locker. He started to choke me. It seemed like a nightmare. I couldn't believe this was real. This morning, I am sore and bruised all over. But I know he must be sorry. because he put a rose in my locker today. I got a rose today. It wasn't prom or any other special day. Yesterday, though, he beat me up again. It was bad, and I don't like how it makes me feel. If I break up with him, what will I do? Who will take me to parties, and who will I dance with? I am afraid of him, but I'm scared to leave. Besides, I'm sure he must be sorry, because he gave me a rose at lunch today. I got a rose today. It wasn't Valentine's Day or any other special day. Last night, we fought again. He beat me and threatened to kill me. Makeup and long sleeves wouldn't hide the cuts and bruises this time. I couldn't go to school because I didn't want anyone to know. But I know he must be sorry. You see, last night he asked me to marry him and sent me a rose today. We got married last month. It was so special. That seemed to be the happiest day of my life. I thought it was my dream come true. But then last night, it happened again. We fought and he beat me again. It was so much worse than all the other times. He said I belong to him now. He said I am his and he can do whatever he wants. He called me names I'd never heard before. This is such a nightmare. Still, I just believe. I know he must be sorry because he gave me a rose at breakfast this morning. I got roses today, and today was a very special day. It was the day of my funeral. He finally did it. He actually beat me to death. He killed me. If only I could have gathered the courage to walk away. If only I could have believed in myself, believed that I deserved better, believed that I could make it without him, then I wouldn't have gotten these flowers. They are beautiful, but in a casket spray? Walk away. You do deserve better. You can make it, even if you have to make it alone. Believe in yourself. Ask for help. Your teachers are here. Your counselors are here. Or call the 24-hour hotline, 323-681-2626 or 800-799-SAFE. Make the call.
I know that presentation was sobering because it's such an important topic. It's important for you to understand that you can go through life and things can be going great for you. You can have high hopes and dreams. But if domestic violence interrupts that for you, then it can just mess up everything for you. So you want to make sure that if you need help, that you get the help that you need. And so with that, we thank you so much for joining us this year for another year of the Student Discovery Program. We're so excited that we got to meet each and every one of you. Each and every one of you are special. And as you go into your junior year, we wish you all the best, much success. I would like to also thank the Student Discovery presenters that were unable to present in this finale, Mr. Alex Niku, Ms. Joni Townsend, and Mr. Michael Young. And I want to say a special thank you to our teachers who have been partners with us all along in this program, Mr. Scott Anderson, Mrs. Stephanie Mason, Mr. Scott Arbogast, and Mr. Donovan Pruitt. And so also want to say thank you to Mr. David Silva, counselor, who's been our support system throughout the entire year. We appreciate you all and have a great summer. Bye now.